this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Work can be a little weird. Cringy training seminars, coworkers who won't stop talking about their plant, forgetting the mute button at an inopportune moment. We have to deal with a lot on any given workday. Sometimes it can feel hard to thrive and move forward in your career. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn helps you get ideas and insights from experts in your field, connect with people professionally, grow your network, and access tools designed to help you find the right fit for your next role. Whether you're just getting started, figuring out your next move, or looking to accelerate your career, LinkedIn is built to support you at every stage because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more. Running a business is hard enough. Don't make it harder with a dozen apps that don't talk to each other. One for sales, another for inventory, a separate one for accounting. That's software overload. Odoo is the all-in-one platform that replaces them all. CRM, accounting, inventory, e-commerce, HR, fully integrated, easy to use, and built to grow with your business. Thousands have already made the switch. Why not you? Try Odoo for free at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
If audiobooks are your thing and you've been meaning to listen to more of them, you should check out a podcast called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audio Club, hosted by Cal Penn. Each episode spotlights standout audiobooks on Audible across all kinds of genres: sci-fi, comedy, romance, thrillers, and more, with Cal talking to guests who help break down what makes each story worth listening to. It's a fun, easy way to discover your next great audiobook. Check out Earsay on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, and welcome to The Short Stuff. I'm Josh, and there's Chuck, and Jerry's here too, standing in for Dave. This is Short Stuff. So
that's right.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're talking about the old comedy bit of getting a pie thrown in your face.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you sourced this from a bunch of different great places.
Yeah, let's see. Gary Berman on Medium wrote a great one. Today I found out. Mental Floss, Atlas Obscura, Slate.
All the old hits.
Yeah, exactly.
Websites we've loved for years.
Mm-hmm.
So, the idea that in comedy, nothing is funnier than somebody throwing a pie in somebody's face, right?
Yeah, it does something really special to the person who gets hit in the face. It completely demeans them momentarily. And
that's right.
It also gives them the opportunity to laugh it off and suddenly shift gears with their personality and win the crowd over.
Yeah.
Or it can drive them to really dig into their personality and get really mad about something that is actually kind of comical.
That's right. And it looks like this whole thing started back in vaudeville in the late 1800s with a Canadian performer named Doc Kelly. And Kelly, as the story goes, saw a cook throw a piece of pie at a stable boy. Everyone laughed at
that age-old story.
Everyone laughed at this poor stable boy. And Kelly was like, now that's funny, eh? But you hit him in the shirt. It'd be a whole lot better if you hit him in the face and just said you're sorry.
Yeah, you hose head.
You hose head. And then before you know it, it became a thing. And then before you know it, it was in movies.
Yeah, pretty quickly. There's a discrepancy over what movie it was in first. There's a 1909 film starring Ben Turpin, who was a really beloved cross-eyed comedian. And we're talking like these are silent movies at the time, right, that we're talking about.
I bet that worked to his advantage.
Right. It was a movie called Mr. Flip. And the reason why we're not sure that that's the first one is because apparently the movie Mr. Flip is totally gone forever.
Yeah.
No one preserved it and probably caught fire at some point. Only descriptions, like written descriptions of the film exist. So we're not 100% sure. So you fast forward a few years and then we know for a fact that the first movie that we can document where a pie in the face gag shows up is in 1913, a movie called The Noise from the Deep.
Yeah, and this starred, sounded like sort of the first female comedian of the day,
Mm-hmm.
Mabel Normand. She was known as the female Charlie Chaplin, and a very young Fatty Arbuckle in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And key to this was it was produced by Keystone Studios, and they became very much known as the studio that does a lot of this pie-in-the-face bit, such that they needed their own bakery to bake all these pies for all their movies that they were pumping out.
Yeah, that's the same Keystone Studios that made the Keystone Cops.
Yeah.
Or I should say the Keystone Cops kind of made the Keystone Studios. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
So there's another term for the pie-in-the-face gag. It's called pieing. I can't stand that word for some reason. It's just wrong. But regardless of that, it caught on really, really quickly. Like people were like, I love that. It gets a huge laugh. We're going to put this in every single film that we put out from now on. And in just a few short years, it kind of became fairly trite.
Yeah, a movie from 1916 with Charlie Chaplin called Behind the Screen was sort of making fun of it.
Already?
And, yeah, so that went from, 1913 to 1916. It had been so overdone. So I get the idea that it kind of went away or a little out of fashion until 1927 when Laurel and Hardy made Battle of the Century, and Stan Laurel was like, we're going to do this so extremely and with so many pies, we're basically going to end it all, and no one will ever be able to do this again because we did the ultimate pie-in-the-face bit.
Right. They actually started with 4,500 pies.
That'll do it.
Probably the biggest order that the Los Angeles Pie Company ever filled. And yeah, I mean, like if you stop and think about that, that's so many pies. It's just nuts. And apparently the versions of Battle of the Century today is so edited that the pieing, that happens throughout the movie, it's impressive, but apparently it just doesn't even hold a candle to the original version.
Yeah.
And it really did, deliver on Stan Laurel's vision.
Right. It's on the cutting room floor.
Actually, I believe that they found either a second reel or the original version or something like that not too long ago in the basement of some, I think maybe USC.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So they got all 4,500 pies?
I believe so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It went on to be, kind of had a second life after that in the late 1920s and early 30s. Little Rascals were doing it. Three Stooges were doing it. Buster Keaton basically explained that there are sort of unwritten rules for the bit, which is if you're going to hit someone in the face, like it's got to be someone who deserves it, like a phony, someone that needs a comeuppance. Nobody that's earnest. Like oftentimes it was like a very snooty high society person that you would it was a way of putting someone in their place.
Yeah, if there was a pie on the screen, like on the table, and there was a person wearing a tuxedo, that person was probably going to get a pie in the face.
Yeah, and the pies were pretty specific too, right?
Yeah, they had figured out along the way there's like a certain way that you should bake a pie, and you should bake it to brittleness for one, because you want it to shatter. Yeah. You should also double layer the crust so that you can handle it from the bottom.
Yeah,
just the pie, because they used to serve pies or bake pies in like tin pie tins.
Mm-hmm. Still do.
Yes. If you throw that at somebody, it can cut their face wide open. It's a really bad idea to do that. So you can only throw the actual pie, which is why they doubled up the crust and then also made it brittle. And then when it hits the face, that crust shatters and just spreads the pie everywhere.
Yeah, and before we get emails, I realize they don't still make them out of tin. We did our aluminum podcast recently.
That's right.
I know they're aluminum.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, tin plates. You know what the biggest rip, though, is?
What?
Is later on in like modern era when someone would spoof this maybe, they just put like, they don't even have filling. It's not even real pie. There's no crust. They would just like take a pie tin and whipped cream it or shaving cream it up. And that's just such a cheap way out. Like, it's so much better if it's a real pie and you've got like blueberry all over your face.
Yeah, that is a big distinction, but not all of us can afford blueberry filling, Chuck.
Well, yeah, you're right.
I had a pie in the face birthday party when I was probably 10 or 11, and we just had the little flimsy tins and a bunch of Cool Whips. No, you wouldn't have liked my birthday party that year.
No, I would have loved it, I'm sure. In that case, it's a little different. I didn't expect like your mom to bake 20 pies.
No, I know. I really just let you walk that one out.
Sit in that one.
I have to say, though, just my memory of that is, even at a young age, I was like, this Cool Whip on the face feels really gross. It's really oily.
Yeah.
This is not right.
Well, Cool Whip, or was it shaving cream?
It was Cool Whip.
Oh, so at least it tasted all right.
Yes, it definitely tasted all right. It just doesn't feel right on the face.
All right, well, let's take a break.
Yes.
I'll apologize to Josh more sincerely off mic, and we'll be back right after this.
We've all had the experience of calling a business and just wanting to talk to a real person. Not an automated voice pretending to be human, an actual person who can listen and understand and offer help.
That's exactly what you can do with Ruby. Ruby is the virtual receptionist company that takes care of your callers when you're unavailable in the middle of something or simply don't want to pick up.
That's right. They can answer, screen, transfer calls. They can take messages, collect payments, book appointments, and more, all while making the people you serve feel special.
And best of all, it can help you be more productive. For example, 9 out of 10 lawyers who use Ruby log more billable hours per day than the national average.
And other professionals like plumbers and technicians win more customers while being able to stay focused on the job. But whatever kind of small business you run, Ruby is built to save you time, earn you more customers or clients, and make meaningful connections with the people you serve.
It's available 24/7, 365 days a year, and 100% based in the U.S. See why more than 15,000 small businesses use Ruby. Visit ruby.com, or better yet, call them at 844-900-RUBY.
The springtime thaw is finally here. Flowers are blooming, days are longer. We're saying yes to more plans and finally getting outside, running, walking, just moving again. It's the perfect time to upgrade your everyday go-tos with Bombas. Take Bombas Sport Socks. They're super comfortable and designed with sport-specific tech for running, cycling, yoga, hiking, you name it. I use them to run in, and I can tell you they work beautifully. So head over to bombas.com and use code SYSK for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com, code SYSK at checkout.
Learning stuff with Joshua and Charles. Stuff you should know.
All right, so we were talking about Buster Keaton, talking about some of the rules of the game or of the bit. Another one was, it's a lot of times someone would like turn around and get the pie right in the face. That was kind of how the bit went. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you can't turn around too early or you're going to flinch.
Right.
And a flinch ruins everything because we have to reshoot it, which means we have to reset. And you've got blackberry in your hair. So we got to do, wash you up in hair and makeup and change your wardrobe. So it was a big pain to redo that. So don't turn around too early or you'll flinch. And also they figured out that because most of the stuff was black and white, or all of it was at the time black and white, the darker feeling works better if you have blonde hair.
Right.
And then the light for dark hair.
Right.
Like a peach or an apple or something.
And you mentioned it earlier before the break when you asked if it was Cool Whip or shaving cream. They figured out that you actually don't want real filling. I mean, sure, you want something that looks like blackberry or something like that. But if you're looking for meringue, you wanted to use shaving cream because it doesn't spoil. That's a big one, right? It can get kind of hot on a studio set, in particular when it's in, late May?
Probably, yeah.
So there was a film, it came out in 1963 or 64. It's called The Great Race, and it promised an even bigger pie fight than the Great Battle, or Battle of the Century had. It didn't deliver. It's still pretty impressive, but nothing like that. And they shot this pie fight scene at the beginning of Memorial Day weekend. And they took a long weekend, and when they came back, the pies that they had left on the wall, because they needed to pick up the shoot from that point on, had all spoiled. And apparently the cast and crew were gagging. It was that nasty.
Yeah, and then that's probably when they moved to shaving cream.
That's right.
So people were better at it than others. You could get a real reputation as a champion pie thrower. Mm-hmm. As legend has it, Fatty Arbuckle could throw one with each hand in opposite directions and hit the faces. And apparently Mo Howard of the Stooges was so good at it, he did all the off-camera throwing and then got hired out to throw pies off-camera just in other movies and shows.
Yeah. Man, that guy was just amazing through and through.
What a specialty.
So, like I was saying, the reason why pies in the face started out as being funny, and it's still funny today, but it's just been around for so long that it's kind of like a nod to the idea of being funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. Sure.
But the whole premise is that you're like you said, you're taking somebody down a peg. And so it's not that surprising that it eventually kind of spilled out in real life where people have taken to hitting powerful people in the face with pies to kind of show them that show the world they're not this God among humans, Yeah.
Which, these days, if you approach any big famous person like that with something in your hand to hit them with. It's never been a good idea, but it's less so now more than ever.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, everyone from like Bill Gates to Rupert Murdoch has been pied in the face very publicly.
Yep. And apparently the guy who did that first was a guy named Thomas Forcade. He was the founder of High Times, and he did it in like 1970. And eventually that got picked up. There was a group called the Biotic Baking Brigade out of San Francisco who were big into this in like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. And so they, they're on record as saying like, how about a neo-Nazi or a Klansman? Like they're great people to pie, or maybe a homophobic preacher. Go pie one of them.
Yeah. I think they had like literature and pamphlets that suggested that.
Who to pie?
Yeah. Who to pie? Chuck said that. Of course, that means short stuff's out.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.